What's going on, guys? Messi here and welcome to a brand new video. Welcome to the transfer update episode today. We have got a lot to get through, so just before we get started, if you could do our good stuff by leaving a like rating and press that subscribe button if you're new. And finally, in the comment section below, what team has surprised you the most this season? My personal answer, I'd definitely go with Leicester City. I also want to apologise if I sound very congested. Unfortunately, I've come down with a bit of a cold last couple of days and hopefully it should be gone by the next episode. But first up today, the first confirmed bit of news, it's not going to be a transfer from one team to another, it's a player switching nationality. So Wolves player Adama Traore, who was previously representing Spain at youth level, he's now decided to represent Mali, and apparently they'll now have 3 forwards all named Adama Traore. In regards to FIFA Ultimate Team, I'm not too sure if it changes the nationality on his inform card and also his ultimate scream, as potentially if it does, the links he does get, it might make a bit of an issue for some people's teams. But next up we have got a player that was really overpowered back on like FIFA 12, and that's Biabiany. He joined a second tier side in Italy called Trapani, and he was a free agent previously after leaving Parma. Another player making the move this time to the third tier of Italian football to AC Monza is former AC Milan and Liverpool defender Gabriel Paletta. He joined on a free transfer after leaving CSL side Jansun Suning in August and won't be added to FIFA Ultimate Team because there is no Serie C on the game. Today's first rumour is from Takvim in Turkey, and they're saying Fenerbahce want to sign Chelsea winger Pedro and be a free transfer in the summer window. His contract is set to expire, and apparently because of his lack of game time under Frank Lampard, he is probably looking to go elsewhere. But alongside Fenerbahce's interest there from CSL sides, we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But another Chelsea player with a contract expiring very soon is going to be Olivier Giroud. And according to La Figaro, they're saying the out of favour striker is a subject of interest from Inter Milan. His deal again will expire soon, so will be a free agent, and he can talk to sides from January onwards. And next up, according to L'Equipe, they're saying that Paris Saint-Germain are in talks with Juventus to sign Matteo De Sciglio. The French side saw a bid knocked back by the Serie A champions in the summer, but they're still eager to land him. The two clubs are in talks over a potential deal, but De Sciglio is in no rush to leave Turin. I could be wrong, but I believe he can play as a left back or a right back, so pretty versatile in the defensive area. And with the likes of Kazawa and Thomas Meunier potentially leaving PSG next year, he could be a replacement for one of those players. And next up, a short one from the Daily Mirror is suggesting that Leicester are interested in signing Club Brugge striker Emmanuel Dennis. He'd apparently cost in the region of £20 million, and he would be considered a backup to Jamie Vardy. Newcastle and West Ham are prepared to battle it out for Genk striker Samatta, that's according to BBC Sport. The Tanzanian, who scored against Liverpool in midweek in the Champions League, he's said to have a release clause of just £10 million. I can't say I've ever seen him play aside from the 2 games against Liverpool in the UCL, but what I have seen of him, he seems very good at making nice runs, and he's extremely good in the air. Another player linked to Newcastle now is going to be Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka. According to the Times, he could be set to leave Arsenal in the January window, and Newcastle are ready to make a move for the 27-year-old. He was the Arsenal captain, but after that outburst on the pitch via the crowd reaction and whatnot, how it all went down, Arsenal did strip him of the captaincy and gave it to, I want to say, Aubameyang. But there are articles in Italy suggesting he could be going to AC Milan instead. And next up, ESPN have got a short one saying that Real Madrid have held talks with Napoli about their Spanish midfielder Fabian Ruiz. He's 23 years old, and a potential move to the Bernabeu could cost around €80 million. And it's starting to shape up that a lot of teams are interested because the last couple of weeks has been Barcelona, Real Madrid and Manchester City. And next up, Calcio Mercato are saying that AC Milan are interested in signing Barca midfielder Ivan Rakitic. However, the Spanish champions will only sanction a deal if the Rossoneri agree in advance to sign a Croatian permanently. They want a loan deal initially, so it'll be a loan with the option to buy, but Barca want an obligation to buy instead. He has fallen down the pecking order at Barca this season, mainly because of Frankie de Jong, and he has 1 start to his name so far in the league. The Daily Mirror are saying that MLS Commissioner Don Graber has claimed that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is signed for AC Milan. Now, that's from the Daily Mirror and that's how they quoted it, but I've also seen some places say the Commissioner himself, he hasn't said he's signed for AC Milan just yet, but they're trying to re-sign him. Manchester United, Tottenham and Wolves are in contention to sign Colombian midfielder James Rodriguez, and they want to sign him from Real Madrid in the January transfer window, as according to El Desmarque. The same article though does say that Juventus want to reunite Ronaldo with James in Turin. Juve have been linked to James for about, I say 2 or 3 years now, but nothing really went through or materialised. But now with Ronaldo back there and Rodriguez's future at Real Madrid being up in the air, seeing them two play together again, it could definitely be on the cards. A player that has featured a lot lately is going to be young Norway striker Haaland. He currently plays for Red Bull Salzburg in the Austrian League and also absolutely incredible form in the Champions League. But he's 19 years old and he could be set to snub interest from the likes of Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, Barca and more, instead to join Bundesliga outfit Leipzig. Now, it would be the 17th transfer between Leipzig and Salzburg, and the most expensive one so far was Naby Keita. Both clubs do share the same ownership, so if a transfer was to happen between Salzburg and Leipzig, the fee itself, I imagine would be a lot less than if he was to go to Real Madrid or Manchester United. And if you think of it for his career, Leipzig is a very good stepping stone, you could say. No offense to the club, they're really well run, but they're really good at bringing players through and making them have an impact in the league. And potentially for Haaland, going straight to Real Madrid, a lack of game time, it could hinder him a little bit. The Standard are saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a January transfer list which consists of Haaland, who I mentioned before, Richarlison from Everton, Emre Can from Juve, and James Maddison from Leicester City, and United want at least 2 of those in January. It does seem like a very expensive transfer list, but the rumours are circulating that Solskjaer wants a striker. That's the main area he's trying to focus on. Richarlison can play as a striker or a right mid, left mid, so very versatile in that sense. Emre Can, obviously a deep midfielder, and James Maddison, a fantastic playmaker. Barcelona are stepping up their interest in Bayer Leverkusen star Kai Havertz. That's according to Sport. The Catalans have been following Havertz for a while now, and on Wednesday during the Champions League they sent a scout to watch the match between Leverkusen and Atletico Madrid. The Daily Express are saying that if Chelsea can get their transfer ban uplifted for the winter transfer window, they have targeted Crystal Palace's Wilfried Zaha and Leipzig's Timo Werner. I read a couple days ago that Chelsea have got an appeal in for their transfer ban, so we'll probably find out next couple of weeks or so if they can buy players very soon. And fair play to Frank Lampard, because he's come into a very, very difficult situation at Chelsea, where he is a legend of course, and he's doing a fantastic job. No transfer window during the summer, so couldn't start shaping his own squad. So now coming in and potentially buying players in January, he can finally start bringing players he wants to fit his style and getting rid of players that have really no future at the club. Then we have got a story from El Desmarque again, and if you're a Liverpool fan or you use social media for football, you've probably seen the hashtag going about of MBAPPE 2020. So the article today is said that Jurgen Klopp is considering making a move for Kylian Mbappe. He believes he's one of the best players in the world, obviously, and he wants to bring the French star to Anfield. The Reds have got enough funds to buy the PSG man because they made no real business in the summer window. And the fact is also on top of this that Liverpool are moving to Nike, so they're ending the contract with New Balance this season or the end of the season. And as of next year, Nike will be the official club sponsor and also club manufacturer. That has been a very big indication for a few clubs in the past. Also Adidas with Manchester United and Paul Pogba. So is it impossible to happen? I wouldn't say no, but can I see it happening? I can't. I think if he was to make the move from PSG next year, he'd be going to Real Madrid, and another Spanish article does suggest the same thing. But the Express have their own take on this one by saying that Liverpool are lining up a £215 million move for the PSG star. That would mean Mo Salah would be off to Real Madrid, with Florentino Perez attentive to Salah's situation. So I'm recording this part of the episode later than the very first bit, and since that story came out about MBAPPE to Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp has had his say on the matter, and he basically said that signing this calibre of player is very difficult. Right now, not many clubs can afford to sign Kylian Mbappe from PSG, and simple as like putting it into like a one sentence kind of thing, he said no chance, it won't happen, sorry for killing that story. An interesting story now from El Chiringuito is that Barca have expressed an interest in signing Gabon striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It'd be from Arsenal and they could make a bid as early as January. Arsenal have apparently promised Aubameyang they'll listen to offers if he decides to leave the club, and there are rumours also going about saying that he has a clause currently in his contract that if Arsenal fail to qualify for the Champions League, which right now is looking like they won't qualify, there is a release clause that will become active. We're not sure how much the clause itself is, but apparently it is a very reasonable amount. And Calcio Mercato also said that Inter want to make a bid for the striker, and he used to play for AC Milan a long time ago. El Desmarque are saying that Manchester United will bid £42 million for Tottenham and Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen, and it'll be in this January transfer window. Spurs may be reluctant to accept it because it would be strengthening a rival, but realistically £42 million is much better than selling him, or I should say losing him on a free in the summer. Arsenal have started talks with the representatives of 21-year-old defender Demiral from Juventus, as according to Turkish football. The Premier League side have already started sounding him out, but Juve will be demanding a fee upwards of €30 million for him. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he only signed for them back in the summer anyway, so they'd look to make a little bit of profit. Roma are closing in on the signing of Husai from Napoli, according to Corriere dello Sport. The capital club have reached an agreement with the 25-year-old right-back, but they must now strike a deal with Napoli next, and they may have to pay upwards of €25 million to get a deal done. He was linked to Chelsea as well as Atletico Madrid back in the summer, but now Roma are definitely the new favourites. Calcio Mercato are reporting that Juve are not giving up on their pursuit of Roma star Nicolo Zaniolo. They tried getting him in the previous transfer window, but Roma were in no rush to sell him or no mood to let him go. But Juve are now willing to open talks again and pay upwards of €40 million. Two stories came out on Monday. First one from TalkSport saying that Liverpool are in advanced talks with Bournemouth as over a potential £10 to £15 million deal with Ryan Fraser. That fee seems obviously very low for a player that was top assist last year in the Prem, if I'm correct. But yeah, his contract is expiring this summer, so he would be available on a free in basically like 8 or so months time. And for Liverpool, obviously we need a bit more depth on the wing. He can play left wing or centrally, I believe. And with Shaqiri having injury problems, it might be a good option. But according to James Pearce, it's not true. They're not actually interested. A short one from 90 Min is that Tottenham will move for Ajax star Hakim Ziyech as if and when the Danish midfielder Christian Eriksen leaves the club. They're also looking at a couple other players, including Bruno Fernandes, who was a massive target previously. The Sunday Mirror are saying Chelsea manager Frank Lampard has made a £70 million rated Lazio midfielder Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. He'll be a priority if the club's transfer ban is lifted. I mentioned the rumour earlier with Zaha and also Timo Werner, so Chelsea are looking to bring some new faces in. Two stories about Memphis Depay now. The very first one is from the Mirror. They're saying that Tottenham are ready to make a £50 million bid for Netherlands international Memphis Depay. Whereas the Star are saying United can exercise their buyback clause if Spurs do make a bid. So I'm not sure if United are interested in bringing him back. They are in the market for a striker, but they could re-sign him and then sell him to Spurs for profit. Calcio Mercato are reporting that Inter are interested in forward Dries Mertens, whose contract with Napoli runs out next summer. AC Milan are also trying to sign him on a free, and it does seem that both Mertens and Callejon, they will be leaving Napoli on free deals. They've been trying to get a new contract sorted, but they can't agree terms, and now Mertens could go to a rival. And then we go on to one from Sport. They're saying that PSG are interested in Vinicius Junior, as having resigned themselves to losing Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid. With the emergence of Rodrigo at the Bernabeu this season, Vinicius has got more competition on his hands. Vinicius has one goal to his name, and Rodrigo obviously recently, he scored a hat-trick in the Champions League. So I thought the last part of the episode would be about Vinicius Junior, but it turns out like today or yesterday for you guys now, there's 2 more confirmed bits of news to cover. And first I would talk about David Villa. So Spain's all-time top goal scorer David Villa, he has confirmed he'll retire at the end of the J League season. The J League does end next month if I'm correct, and that's him done with football after that. Or at least in a playing sense. And as for David Villa, he'll go down as one of the best strikers of our generation and was a phenomenal goal scorer. And then we've got a massive transfer in women's football. So the player is going to Australia, Sam Kerr. She is widely regarded as one of the best strikers, and she's joined Women's Super League leaders Chelsea. She's also the all-time leading goal scorer in the National Women's Soccer League in the United States and the Australian W League. She signed a 2.5-year contract and she's available to play from January onwards. But that, guys, is going to be it for this video. So if you could do that good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and drop a comment below. What team has surprised you the most so far this season? Like I said before, my answer, it has to be Leicester City, but let me know yours down below in the comment section. So thank you for watching this video, I'll see you next time.